SacTown Underground, Celestial Thomas here. Happy December! Where the heck did the year go? I'm telling you, it's just like in a blink of an eye. Welcome back, guys. We're finishing off the year with another exciting episode for you. Of course, we want to start you guys off with our Sacramento 365 calendar, powered by Sacramento 365, for all your local community events. For cuisine, we are bringing you guys Monterey Bay Calamari, and we have a special guest, Mr. Alton Pete, who will be talking about his book, Life is So Precious. We have two musical guests for you guys today that we will be interviewing, one being Aldo Cocco, the next being Beethoven. And as always, we finish off the show with a musical guest. We'll be bringing you guys the Sims Band. Stay tuned. And for all your community events powered by Sacramento 365, here's what they have. I love December events, don't you? It's unfortunate that it doesn't snow here in Sacramento, though we do get one very rare occasion, maybe every 6 years. So I'm hoping Santa Claus will bring me that this year. And we move on to our cuisine segment, where Caitlin will be interviewing Brittany for the Monterey Bay Calamari food truck. Let's take a look at some of that deliciousness.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Ellis with SacTown Underground, and today I'm here with Brittany with Monterey Bay Calamari. Can you please tell us a little bit about the restaurant and how long has it been around?
Richard opened it, I think, like 35 to 40 years ago. He started off doing snow cones and then upgraded into doing seafood because it was a little bit more unique at the time. Nobody was doing it. It was more of a commodity back then, you know what I mean? Now everyone has their own spice of different things. But every year we add new things to the menu. We try and updo it from the last year. We've got new items such as like deep fried oysters, zucchini curly fries. We've added some mussels again to the menu.
Great. And can you tell us, besides the state fair, what other events have you guys done in the past or in the future coming up?
Right now we just do some of the local fairs in different counties. Like this year we've started off in King City, Los Banos, Dixon, Merced. We do a lot of the little county fairs. We do the big California State Fair, and then we'll go to Arizona to do the Phoenix Fair, Maricopa County Fair, along with the Lights of the World we've been involved with in Phoenix as well. So we travel pretty much up and down California and Arizona throughout the course of the fair season.
And can you tell us, what are you guys featuring this year for the $2 taste of the fair?
We have zucchini bites. So basically we cut up some zucchinis and we give you little tastes of like what they taste like deep fried in batter. We use a special batter and we add a couple different ingredients, including like a tapatio to it, so it gives a little bit of spice, but it's not too spicy, as well as garlic salt and a few other little ingredients here and there.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
So if you have or know of any fairs out here in Sacramento, definitely go and search for Monterey Bay Calamari, which Caitlin did not bring back from me because she's stingy. And we'll talk about that later, Caitlin. But we move on to our next story. We will be interviewing Mr. Alton Pete, who wrote the book, Life is So Precious. Let's take a look at some of that footage.
Hello all, Celestial Thomas here, and we have an amazing show geared up for you guys today.
only because I'm a sucker for anything inspirational, and I find in my day-to-day life there are always trials and tribulations that will test your character. And in a world or in a society that we live in with low, I feel, standards because of what we value, we don't necessarily practice the best virtues that develop character. Now, today I have a very special guest, Mr. Alton Pete, who has written a wonderful book for you guys to reference when life hands you those tests. Now, life is so precious. Mr. Alton Pete, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
So life is so precious. Tell us a little bit about your journey in writing this book.
Life is So Precious is a beautiful, compelling book that I decided to write because I wanted to make an impact over this entire world. And also I want to put a positive change into someone's life in their home. Today we're living in a day and time where a lot of people have given up on hope, faith, and they don't even believe in themselves anymore. So from my experiences, I wanted to exemplify how that when you don't give up and you persevere, along with the leap of faith and some courage, what can possibly happen at the end of your road. Because at the end of the tunnel, there is something good waiting just for you. No matter what you're going through, it's just to get you to the next level.
And so you have served 26 years of your life
Correct.
in the Army.
Yeah, 26 years in the Army. I'm an Iraqi war comeback veteran. I'm retired, and I love it. I'm gonna say the Army was the best thing for me because I wouldn't have never saw close to 10 countries and met all kind of cultures.
Things at home. You said you lost your mother and your sister.
Yes, that's how I was inspired to write this amazing book. Lost my mother, and I will say to everyone out there today who are listening that out of every bad situation, your good has got to come out of it. If nothing ever took place in our lives, the good will stay hidden like the diamonds in the oil. So you have to dig, you got to search and get it out.
Say that one more time.
I said that like the gold and the diamonds, you got to search for it. And therefore, that causes pressure. That causes things that are uncomfortable. It causes things to be uneasy. It causes days to not even look good where you just think that you're not going to make it. And if you just hang in there because of what you're going through, it's just to get us to the next level. So when I lost my mother, I picked up the gift of writing. Never knew I had it in me. I mean, we used to write gospel songs. I write songs even today, gospel songs. But the gift of writing was amazing to me because look what I discovered. I'm an author now. Next to my name, with your name carries a great deal of weight because among a great name can get you into a lot of doors that you didn't think you can go through. So if you got a good name and some credentials next to your good name, you'd be amazed how far in life you can go. So I lost my sister as well, and right now they are my motivation and my drive to keep going forward, to keep going, to not even look back, because what good is it gonna do me to look back when I'm trying to go forward at the same time? You can either do one or the other, and I choose to go forward because we got much more waiting on us ahead than what we're leaving behind. And if people can just realize this, man, there's so much waiting on you ahead. So many things, that opportunities, and because opportunity knocks at the door once, after that is chances.
Well, there you go, ladies. If you want someone who has your best interests in mind and helping develop your consciousness, definitely take a look. Go find it on Amazon again. And
Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, every bookstore. You can find it. Google me, you'll see me. You'll see the title. You see my name, see my credentials. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Alton.
Okay.
I appreciate you for coming out here. Life is so precious, guys. Pick it up. Help change the world one beautiful word at a time. Thank you very much, guys, and we look forward to seeing you guys in our next show. Bye. And that was Mr. Alton Pete, who taught me that life is so precious. And for those of you out there who are sacrificing your lives for our freedoms, we thank you. We know how tremendous a sacrifice that is. And now we have Mr. Aldo Cocco, one of our musical guests this evening, and let's take a look at what he has to say.
SacTown Underground family, we have a fabulous guest in-house today, our good friend, Mr. Aldo Cocco.
Cocco, yeah.
Cocco. He's got a fabulous last name. And Aldo is here with us in regards to our music piece. Aldo, tell us a little bit about what you do. It is such a pleasure to have you in-house with us and all the talent that you bring to the table. Tell our family here a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Stephanie, for having me. Well, I compose music, and lately I've been composing music for short films. But before I play in bands and I play music as a solo artist, and I have some songs and music pieces recorded.
And I understand that you are not only from here in the U.S., but you have been all over, being Argentine born and then lived in Spain and then lived in Mexico for a little while and then lived here since 1999. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, we're gifted by having you here today because you're also a composer. You produce music for films, and you've actually even won an award. Actually, you've won several, but you won one this year for one of your films. Tell us about that.
Yes, this year I participated in a film festival in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Universe Multicultural Film Festival.
Wonderful.
And the characteristic of this festival is they welcome composers from all over the world. So for the first time, I submitted one of my compositions to a film festival, and they asked me to play in the festival.
Wow.
Because one of my songs was chosen for to be the film festival official song.
So your first submission not only got you a win, but also providing the song for the actual festival itself.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So I went to LA to play this song
Mm-hmm.
in the award ceremony.
Okay.
But it was a surprise for me that before they gave me the award for the best music for films.
So how long have you been composing music?
I've been composing music since I was a teenager.
Okay.
With I started with acoustic guitar, then electric guitar, then I play in a rock band. I play bass guitar.
What gives you your biggest motivation when you are preparing to compose a song?
I started composing music when my family moved from Argentina to Spain.
Uh-huh.
I was 14 years old. So going from South America, I was living in Buenos Aires that at the time had 14 million people living there, the capital of the city. We went to Europe, but we went to live in an island,
Okay.
very tiny island and small towns.
Very different from where you came from.
Exactly, very different. So in one plane travel, I lost all my friends, all my countries, my food,
Sure.
all my environment. So I look for refuge in music.
So you have a couple of professional singers that you have written music for, correct?
Yes.
So
yeah.
who are some of the people or some of the songs that you have written?
Well, I written a song that is in this CD. The singer is Becky Cutler. The present is all I have. And I wrote this song for my son when he was born. My son was born with a heart problem, so we have struggling when he was born. So when he was born is when I recorded the first CD.
And so if somebody here in Sacramento was wanting to introduce their child to music, they actually could start by doing so with you, correct? Because you teach music here.
Yes, I teach music. I teach piano and guitar to beginners or intermediate. I have many students from 6 years old to the oldest I have was a lady 80-something years old.
So if you were sharing with any parents that might be listening, that might be thinking about music for their children, what would you tell them?
The children are special beings. No? When you are a children, you are open to new ideas. All the children are really sweet. They are very special. I know that parents feel that their children are special. For me, it is true. It's true because all of them are special. To me, as a teacher, everybody have a different personality.
Do you have anything upcoming or anything that you're working on that you're allowed to talk about?
I am preparing for the next year's goal to put in an album, some of my composition for short films.
Okay.
So I am preparing that album.
Aldo, thank you so much for being on our show. It has been a privilege and an honor to have you here. You have so much fabulous stuff going on. You've done so much, and we just thank you for making Sacramento your home and being part of SacTown.
It's my honor, my privilege.
You.
Thank you very much.
We've enjoyed having you.
Thank you.
Back to you, SacTown Underground.
Composers play such a vital role in creating that feeling that movies make for us. And if you are a local film director or a local theater director and you want to find that right ominous or joyful tone, reach out to Mr. Aldo Cocco. He does all different types of genres, and let him be of service to your production. Now we move on to Miss Ina Beethoven, a violinist from the Ukraine. I'm excited to hear what she has to say.
I'm your host, Tiffany G, and this evening I have a fabulous guest for you. In-house we have Miss Ina Beethoven, and Ina's going to be performing for us. Have a seat and tell us a little bit about the style of music that you play. What would you consider the genre?
We play in the rock and blues style, but sometimes we go heavier or in the different. We try different styles, but we make it our own way.
So a unique style, a combination of blues, a combination of rock, and then whatever else you want to add to it is what you're saying.
Yes.
Customizing it, making it your own. Tell me a little bit about your influence in music. Where did you get started in playing?
I started to play violin when I was only 5 years old, and it wasn't really my decision because I was just a kid, and my parents, they actually decided that they wanted me to be a violinist when I was just born.
So your parents were kind of putting that on you just a little bit.
Yeah. And also it was because my grandfather, he had a very, very old and unique violin, and he left it for me. So that's why my parents wanted me to be a violinist.
So really it's great-grandfather's wish that you had that violin and gave it to your parents for you.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about some of your influence in music. When you are performing, what are some of the things that involve you in your process of music, involve you in your process of playing the violin and singing?
In Europe, it was 90s, we had very talented violinist, Vanessa May, I think, yeah. And she was my first kind of like idol, yeah. And also the band Nightwish, it also it's not American band, but they playing very heavy stuff. But I was 9 years old when I really loved in that style also.
Is there any particular artist that you like to cover their music the best? Do you have a favorite, or do you have a particular song that is your favorite?
I really loved Led Zeppelin, and here when I came to United States, I listened to the completely different style of music that we don't really listen in Europe. And that was like one of my favorites. It's Tom Petty, Doobie Brothers, and I like that style. I find out it in my band.
On top of playing the violin, I understand you have an incredible singing voice. Who inspired you as far as singing went?
I was singing just for fun, for myself, but I never went to school. Like I don't do it professionally. But in the band, they allowed me to open all my talents.
So you say you don't do it professionally, and yet here we are on TV, and you are getting to play professionally and sing professionally. So you are a professional. It is in you. It is who you are. And so if you could pick any group of people to play for, whether it's young people, whether it's adults, whether it would be in another country or here, do you have a dream group or a dream type of audience that you would like to play for?
You know, we play right now most of the time in Placerville area, and I really love that little town. I really like people who live there because they very different actually. Like that little town, it's so different from the other places I've been, like Bay Area, even Sacramento. This is like kind of like little paradise.
It's an intimate group of people,
Yes.
kind of like you being at home. I would think that's how it feels for you.
Yeah, for me it really feels like home because I actually was born in the mountains, so it's kind of like the same area for me. And people there, they really understand music, not just like listen to it, but they really feel it. And I like to perform for them because I see they really appreciate that kind of music.
And so with that, we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment. Go ahead and grab your snack, get your drink, and come on back.
And again, SacTown Underground, that was Miss Ina Beethoven, who will also be helping us wrap up our final show of 2019. It has been a beautiful year, and we always like to thank you guys for tuning in. We're always looking for more content. We're always looking to boost up what we do here in regards to production. And again, guys, we're always looking for talent. We're always looking for people in production. If you have a dream, come live it with us. Miss Ina Beethoven, again, is going to be performing with her band, the Sims Band. And they are a cover band who will be playing Kashmir by Led Zeppelin with their own little spin on it. Again, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and we thank you so much. Enjoy the Sims Band.
you.